What does modern science imply about our significance in eternity? We are not the center of the universe. If Earth is not the center of the solar system, if our sun is not the center of our galaxy, if our galaxy is not the center of all the galaxies, then our universe most probably is not the center of the causative force. What does that leave us? It leaves us with the potential of being a part of something. It leaves us with the potential of being part of the omnipresence. Being a part of the causative force is not a new idea. Hindus, although they would more than likely say that they're emanations or aspects and not quote-unquote parts, have been saying that for thousands of years. The idea just never made it to the West. It was left behind. Now, modern science comes along and it then implies what Hindus have been saying all along. Science put it in different words, painted the same picture from a different viewpoint. So whether classical physics or quantum physics. But what of present Western religions? They have always rejected the idea of an all-present causative force while professing omnipresence. That would be the pantheistic aspect. All presence to be a primary part of their foundations. Professing omnipresence while simultaneously professing separation, or in some cases complete and wholly separate. This paradox will be more fully addressed in the chapter entitled Classical Traditional Theisms, and that will be forthcoming. For now, however, let us understand that many of our older earth religions accept the concept of omnipresence, that is, full omnipresence. Science implies such a state of being, and philosophical logic has historically found such an idea easier to defend than to refute. Perhaps traditional religions need to re-evaluate omnipresence just as they had to re-evaluate Copernicus' observation that we are not the center. Ripples are created by actions, ripples rush through society, ripples wash over people, souls attempting to journey through society. Actions generated by nature are unpredictable and difficult to control at this time. Actions generated by people can be controlled by the person committing the actions. We are responsible for our actions. The actions may be influenced by outside factors, but they are controlled by the individual nonetheless. Our actions are influenced by perceptions we have of ourselves and others. What more influential perception could we give to each other than the perception that we are each an aspect or piece of the causative force, and as such deserve the respect, love, and total acceptance we give the causative force herself. What religions call God. We have guides. Your soul is eternal, eliminate suffering, love one another, and you will be judged accordingly. What does modern science imply about our relationship to the causative force? Science implies that we should not ignore what we see. What is it that we see? We see all living things dependent upon each other. We see no individual being the center of all things. We see change all around us. change, sharing attention, and interdependence are all ideas we find difficult to accept, especially in the day of extreme individualism and independence. All are actions we resist, yet all three are confirmed as basic to everything we observe. All are underlying principles science keeps confirming over and over again. Yet all three items are concepts we struggle to withhold from our relationship with the causative force, or God, even to the point of proclaiming with enthusiasm that God or a causative force simply does not exist, as in with atheism and some humanist philosophies. We do not want to change our ideas regarding what we believe to be our relationship with God or the causative force. We do not want to give up being the center of attention, as are many human beings in their egocentric, ethnocentric, centered consciousness, to accept that the causative force may need us, as in many open, relational, and process theologies. Why the resistance? Accepting interdependence between ourselves and the causative force means accepting more responsibility for our actions, whether willingly or in ignorance. Who wants that? Sharing attention means obtaining less of it. Who wants that? Change means no longer being able to stay in the same comfortable rut. Complacency. Who wants that? For all the negatives, there are positives. Granted, accepting an interdependence between ourselves and the causative force does not increase our responsibility, or does increase our responsibility immensely. But don't forget that with increased responsibilities come increased benefits. As we accept the new significance to which we exist, each will be elevated. We will have no choice but to improve the quality of the air, water, and land. We will strive to make our environment a place within which we can all enjoy walking. The lakes will sparkle, the forests will be filled with rich colors, the air will smell crisp and clean. Taking a breath will become a pleasure, not a chore. Taking a life will mean terminating the journey of a piece of the causative force. As such, assisted suicide will become illegal. Capital punishment will no longer be considered an option, and a means of alleviating pain will take its place. Capital punishment will be viewed as an interfering with the journey of the causative force herself. And on, all intensified due to change, due to a new understanding, a new relationship with the causative force, as is explained in the context of symbiotic panentheism.